All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest questions for any dog owner, something that really gets to the heart of our relationship with our furry best friends. And we're going to look at a really cool study that finally gives us an answer.
I mean, come on, you know you've wondered this. You're reaching for that little piece of cheese, you see those big, soulful eyes looking up at you, and you just have to ask, is that true love, or are they just playing you for the snack? It's a question that feels almost a little personal to ask, right?
Well, you can stop guessing, because that age-old debate, it's pretty much settled. Researchers at Emory University got tired of the guesswork and decided to find a real scientific answer. And in the process, they gave us this incredible, unprecedented look inside a dog's mind. So, let's dig in and see how they pulled it off.
Okay, first things first. To get that answer, they had to tackle one of the biggest hurdles in all of animal psychology. I mean, sure, we can see a tail wagging, we can hear a bark, but how do we really know what's going on inside their heads? What are they actually thinking?
No, seriously, think about it. We see all the behaviors, right? The wagging tail, the happy bark, the slobbery lick, but we can't just, ask them how they feel. We're always on the outside looking in, just interpreting. So, to get a real answer to this whole treat versus praise thing, the scientists had to figure out a way to peek directly inside their brains.
And this is how they did it. They used something called fMRI technology. Now, don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. You can basically think of an fMRI as a kind of emotion detector for the brain. It just tracks blood flow. So when a part of the brain gets really active, like the part that feels joy or reward, more blood rushes there, and boom, it lights up on the scan. Pretty cool, right?
And using this on dogs was an absolute game changer. I mean, it's totally safe and non-invasive, but for the very first time, scientists could see a direct, biological picture of what a dog was feeling. They actually trained these dogs over months to be totally comfortable and just chill out in the machine, wide awake. This wasn't about guessing based on a wagging tail anymore. This was seeing the actual emotion happen in real time.
Okay, so they've got the tech, they've got the dogs ready to go. Now what? Well, the scientists designed this beautifully simple but totally brilliant experiment to finally settle the debate. They decided to pit food against affection in the ultimate test.
Here's how it worked. While the dogs were in the scanner, they went through two different phases. In one corner, you had the food reward. We're talking their absolute favorite high-value treats. And then in the other corner, you had social praise, enthusiastic good boys and petting from their own humans. Two incredibly powerful motivators going head-to-head.
And the goal was super simple. Which one of these things was going to make that reward center in the brain light up more? Was it going to be the tasty snack, or was it going to be that loving praise from their favorite person on the planet?
So, the team at Emory ran all the tests, they collected all the brain scans, and what they discovered? Well, let's just say it completely challenges one of the biggest assumptions we all have about our dogs.
The data that came back was, honestly, it was stunning. For most of the dogs in this study, getting praised by their owner actually lit up their brain's reward center more than getting a super tasty treat. Let that sink in for a second.
So the specific spot in the brain we're talking about here is called the ventral caudate. You can just think of it as the brain's happiness hub, or its reward center. When that part of the brain fires up, it means the dog is feeling genuine pleasure and well-being. And for the majority of these dogs, simple praise made that happiness hub glow brighter than a piece of chicken did. It wasn't just a nice gesture. It was a powerful, biological reward.
The lead researcher on the study, the guy named Dr. Gregory Burns, really put it perfectly. He said this isn't just some fun little factoid. It fundamentally changes how we should think about the dog-human bond. It tells us that our relationship with them isn't just transactional, I give you a treat, you do a trick. It's built on a real emotional connection.
Now here's a really important little detail. This wasn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. While most of the dogs preferred praise, some were definitely still more food-motivated. And what that really tells us is that every dog is an individual. You gotta know your own dog's personality.
So, okay, this is all super cool science, right? But what does it actually mean for you and your dog, like in your living room? How can we take this knowledge and use it to build an even stronger bond?
Well, the study pretty much gives us a three-step playbook. First, you've got to become an observer of your own dog. Pay attention. What really makes them light up? Is it the praise, the petting, or the snack? Second, start treating your enthusiastic praise like it's a high-value reward. Don't just think of it as a little extra. Especially during training, it's a big deal. And third, and this is huge, prioritize that quality time. Those simple, affectionate moments, that's not just fluff. Science now proves it's a deeply rewarding experience for their brain.
When you boil it all down, what this research really proves is that the amazing connection we feel with our dogs, it's not just in our heads. It's a real, measurable, biological thing happening inside their brains too. That love, that praise, that attention we give them, it really truly matters on a deep level.
So the next time you're hanging out with your dog, just think about this study. It really leaves us with this one final thought, one that could kind of change everything about how we see our best friends. What if the best treat you can possibly give them isn't a treat at all?